My name's Tiffany Cole, and I'm going to be giving a narrative speech. I couldn't wait for the day that I turned 16, because in my mind, I gained complete freedom, being able to drive wherever I wanted to without the supervision of my parents. The day I turned 16, my parents sat me down and talked on the responsibilities of driving. They wanted me to understand that there were rules I needed to follow. They said that there would be consequences if I didn't choose the rules, if I didn't follow the rules. I agreed to my parents' rules, not thinking twice, just like any other 16-year-old would do, about gaining a new taste of freedom. There was one rule that stuck out and didn't really make sense to me at the time. They warned me to stay off the dirt roads, especially in winter. I didn't really understand why. I just shrugged it off and almost forgot about it completely. One evening, 5 of my best girlfriends packed into my 1998 Chevy Malibu with nothing on our minds but just to have a good time. It was a frigid Friday night, late in February, and nothing to do but to head over to Washington and cruise the square. Washington is a moderate size of town for Iowa, so you can usually find something to do. But on this Friday night, there was nothing buzzing around the town. Before I knew it, we were far out of town, and I turned around down a gravel road. We were cruising along, jamming out to the first Spice Girls CD, talking about which Spice Girl we wanted to be, when I came up to a T intersection, where I was facing with a big decision to make. As I came to a stop, I looked to the left and saw a maintenance speed sign, and I looked to the right and saw another maintenance speed sign. My friends were in the back shouting, "Let's go drifting," over and over again. I personally wanted to turn around, but didn't want to look like a wuss in front of my friends. With all my friends still shouting and saying, "Do it, go down the dirt road," I thought about it for a moment and turned left, spinning my tires on the loose gravel as I accelerated. I had my Chevy Malibu up to 45 miles an hour. The road seemed long. We came over a large hill, and that's when I saw trouble ahead. I slammed on the brakes and my Malibu came to a sliding halt. We stopped in a huge drift of snow that covered the whole road. If I would have went any farther, I would have piled my Malibu into a 6 feet tall drift. Without thinking, I threw my car in reverse. My tires were spinning and we were stuck. I yelled and cussed up a storm. My friends were quiet and didn't say much at that point. Brooke, one of my friends sitting in the back seat, chimed up and asked, "What are we going to do?" I said aloud, "My parents are going to kill me," and that's when I realized they told me a few months back on my 16th birthday not to go on a gravel road, especially in winter. We all got out our cell phones and started calling our friends that had trucks to come pull us out. After a half hour of hearing excuses and missed calls, we started thinking about stories to tell our parents if they found out or if one of our parents had to come rescue us. Luckily, we didn't have to because one of our good friends, Tony, called us back. Tony said he had some chains and a shovel to come pull us out. It seemed like 2 hours before Tony showed up. All of my friends were huddled together like a football team does before each snap, just trying to stay warm, as Tony scooped out some snow from behind the tires and hooked up the chain to the frame of the Malibu. Before we knew it, the car was out of the monster snowdrift. We thanked Tony and jumped back into the cozy, warm car and started back down the dirt road. I dropped all my friends off and drove home. On my way home, I couldn't stop thinking about what my parents told me about staying off the dirt road. I felt really guilty, and it made me realize my parents were really looking out for what's best for me. I don't always understand why they impose certain things on me, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't listen to them. I went home and crawled into bed and told them I was sorry about what I did. They calmly answered and said they were glad I was okay and that they had a punishment waiting for me in the morning. I was grounded for 2 weeks from my car.